Prospects for this ride started off looking a little bleak. This is Goulburn on the way through on Friday night, and there was further rain on Friday night in Canberra. However, the next day dawned quite clear, and as you can see from the photos of the Tharwa Bridge, it turned into a lovely day. Good morning. Today we're in Tharwa, in the southern part of the ACT, just south of the southern suburbs, a little rural village on the banks of the Murrumbidgee, heading down to Adaminaby, then across to Cooma, and then back up to Tharwa over 3 days. Been a bit of rain about, so there might be bits of damp surfaces and maybe some water crossings, so could be an interesting day. Today we're following the National Trail for the first section of the ride, starting off with a bit of Bobby Yan Road, and now we'll climb up Smith's Lane, looking fairly steep. Beautiful morning, but still a bit of cloud about. And what is it? Can't see what the temperature is. Here's the kangaroo going for a bit of a hop. Oh, it raced me up the hill. We're at the top of the first bit of the climb up Smith's Lane. Still a little bit more to go, but so far it's a bit over 4 k's and nearly 160 metres of elevation, so it's a good way to warm up first thing in the morning. It's very humid, so it's taking a bit out. Today is going to be my longest e-bike ride and the most amount of climbing I'll do in a ride so far. So it's going to be interesting exercise managing the legs versus the battery to get us to Adaminaby. Anyway, we'll get back on the road. So we're on the first bit of gravel, 4 3/4 k's in. Don't to get overtaken. And off Smith's Lane onto Sunshine Road. Bit of traffic on Smith's Lane because it links across to the Monero Highway. Hopefully Sunshine Road lives up to its name. It's a little bit soft at the moment underneath from the rain last night. Well, you can see ahead, but there's still plenty of cloud around on the top of the ridges, so hopefully no more rain today. Otherwise it might get a bit more interesting than it needs to be. Right, we're 10 k's in, now dropping down into the Naas Valley, which will follow upstream for quite a way until it turns into a fire trail basically. Over a ridge, past some huts, and see where we go. Well, we're about an hour in now, 14 k's and 300 metres of climbing. I may have gone off a bit early saying that was the Naas Valley before, but just come over another saddle into another valley. So we'll see how much longer the bitumen holds up for. So I just crossed the Gudgeonby River and onto Top Naas Road. A few puddles around. Winding our way up through the last of the farming land, I think. Valley's getting a bit narrower. Obviously had a bit of rain up here, but all the crossings so far have been concrete causeways, which is good. Right, well here we are at the start of Namadgi National Park. Gates are locked unfortunately, so we're going to have to take the bike over the fence. With a little observer here keeping an eye on us, making sure we abide by all the National Park rules. Right, first interesting water crossing. Doesn't look too bad from this angle, so we might just launch straight into it. Plenty of wet feet, but the surface was good. Despite the sign at the gate saying that the track had been affected by recent storm damage, it's in pretty good nick so far. There's some recent maintenance. I just stopped and spoke to a ranger who said it's in good condition all the way through. So hopefully we'll have a good ride. As long as I don't get collected by a kangaroo. There's thousands of them out here. Here's some of the recent maintenance. It's normally a bit of a boggy spot. Oh, looks like we've got ourselves another water crossing. Bloody decent climb out the other side. Wet feet again. Just have a bit of a walk. Looks like feet are going to stay down for a while. Maybe that is for the motor, but we'll see. This one looked a bit soft and sandy, so we've walked across there. Still got the feet a little bit wet, and I think we'll be walking up this hill too. Been seeing a few deer tracks as well as kangaroo tracks on the track. Haven't seen any deer yet. Possibly even wild horses up this way. Up about 850 metres, so a bit snow here occasionally in the winter. Well, just over 3 hours in now. I just stopped, had a bit of a bite to eat and a bit of a break. It's pretty hard going. There's some very steep pinches here. I've been actually having to resort to turbo setting a few times to get up them, and it's just straight down the other side in most cases. Anyway, we're about 34 k's in of just under 90 k's overall, and done over about 800 metres of climbing out of 1800 or so, so there's still a lot of work to be done. Weather's holding all right so far. Clouds are starting to break up a little bit, but it's probably going to be touch and go as to whether I get through with battery power. I've used just over a third of the battery so far, so I've still got a bit of climbing to go, and hopefully it becomes a bit less demanding on the battery towards the end of the ride. Anyway, we'll get going shortly. Well, we just punched through 1,000 metres of climbing on that last hill. It was a pretty long one. So hopefully we get a little bit of downhill to play around with now. Turning the battery off at times now on the downhills to try and conserve it a bit. we just went through 1,000 metres altitude, currently at 1,063 feet above sea level, metres above sea level. Hopefully not too many more climbs before we get out onto the Bobby Ann Road. So steep it's hard to keep the front wheel down. Interesting approach to erosion stabilisation. This is the inside of the Force Gully hut. Nice fireplace, plenty of seating, a table for dining on, some more seating, fire extinguisher, bed frame to be pressed into use if needed. Obviously the idea is to camp outside and use the facilities inside as required. Just come down this lovely bit of track through another sort of subalpine frost hollow area, and then we're confronted with yet another creek crossing. Obviously we'll up a little bit because of the rain yesterday, but this one looks too deep to ride, and there's nowhere to walk across it and keep dry, so take the line to the right and just get some wet feet. A few spectators while I'm doing it as well. Haven't seen any brumbies or deer as yet. I've seen some deer tracks. Well, it's 25 kilometres back to Kalula Farm, where the I suppose the fire trail sort of conditions started. One of the hardest 25 k's I've ever done. If I didn't have the e-bike, I'd be grovelling out there in a ditch somewhere, I think, at the moment. Anyway, we've about a bit over 50 k's in, done 1,400 metres of climbing, so hopefully we get a reasonable run into Adaminaby from here. Feels like a bit of a tailwind up this section of the road, but I don't know what it'll be like when we get out onto the Bobby Ann Road. Not much light in here, so I don't know how this will come out, but this is inside Brayshaw's hut. Big fireplace, fire extinguisher, pretty much unappointed room, and another one as well. Nothing much in here, but solid slab construction. Hear the wind whistling through the holes. Just in the grade past Brayshaw's hut, that's 1,239 metres, 55 k's in, so about 30 to go. We've done nearly 1,600 metres of climbing, so hopefully that's the worst of the climbing. I think this is the high point in terms of altitude. Shannon's Flat. There's the up road going off to the right there, which is where the national trail heads off. And then we're heading down probably down the road a bit further. So it leads up into the Pine Way, I think. Nasty headwind, still plenty of hills when you touch and go with the battery. And lots of corrugations. Well, this might be the end of the gravel. Through to the Alpine Way. Just wish we could get rid of this wind. Battling this headwind out on the exposed plains, rolling hills. Another climb or two to get up before we get to Adaminaby. As it turned out, that bit of tar on Bobby Ann Road wasn't all the way through to the Alpine Way, so a bit more gravel to get going with. Also turns out that when the battery gets down to 20% remaining, it goes into a limp mode, which gives something like Eco Light. So it's pretty hard work on the hills now. Well, here we are in Adaminaby, some 86 k's in, over 1950 metres of climbing, which was a bit more than the advertised amount on the route plan, and nearly 8.5 hours of riding. Fair to say that I'm fairly exhausted. Anyway, we're going to go and find our accommodation.